Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to basically your first day of school again for the 2019-2020 school year. I hope all of you are doing very well, staying safe, staying up to date on all of this stuff. Hey, if you're confused, believe me, the teachers are probably 10 times more confused than all of you because we're all using this stuff for the first time, trying to figure it all out. And it's like I'm a teacher for the first time again. But honestly, I'm doing all right. I've been having a good time, really learning a bunch of new stuff, basically being a student once again, and just learning on the fly. So as you're going to see, this is honestly my first recorded video that I've ever done, recording a Microsoft PowerPoint. So there's definitely going to be some mistakes. Watch this like NASCAR. You don't watch it for the race, you watch it for the wrecks. But in the meantime, try to learn something from this. This is going to be kind of an introduction to your first assignment and why we're going to be making a Buddhist mandala. And here we go. So where we left off right before spring break is that we left off basically right at the end of Buddhism, and we got into something called Tibetan Buddhism. Tibet was a country that was right in between China and India all the way up until the 1950s. It's basically right on the border of northeast India and southwest China, right in between. But in the 1950s, when China turned communist, they ended up taking over Tibet by force, killing probably around 20, 30,000 Tibetans, and their leader, who you're going to see in a second, the Dalai Lama, had to flee. But what is Tibetan Buddhism? Before we get to mandalas, we have to understand exactly what Tibetan Buddhism is. There's two schools, remember? There was Mahayana and Theravada, but there is kind of a third way known as Tibetan Buddhism. So Tibetan Buddhists, as you see here, they incorporated tradition. Wow, see, I can't even underline anything. That is a bit different than Theravada and Mahayana. They stress physical disciplines to transcend and redirect desire. And if you've ever done yoga before, you can kind of understand this. I've done yoga a few times, probably about 3, 4, or 5 times. Probably going to be doing it more while I'm doing this quarantine and have to stay inside a little bit more. But when you get done, you did something very physical that affects you in a good way mentally. And you feel like a dirty sponge that got kind of wrung out and you're clean again. And it's very nice and very fulfilling mentally. If you've never done yoga, but you've gone for like a run when you're really stressed out and you feel better and you feel more clear-minded, think of it like something like that. That they do more physical type things, and as you're going to see, in order to achieve nirvana or at least get closer to it. So believers feel that it is directly linked to one of Buddha's opening lines in their book, the Dhammapada. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. So what is that word that I've always been teaching since day one? Correct. Oh, that's awesome. That is perspective. Good job. Good job. William in the back. I'm glad you finally showed up. Thank you for getting that question right. So it is all about building that correct perspective down at the bottom here. Perspective. So moving on to the next slide. You don't have to write these notes down. This is just an introduction into what exactly these Buddhist mandalas are going to be. So the Tibetan Buddhist leader, should have been 1S, is the Dalai Lama. He's about the 15th or 16th reincarnation of one of their original leaders. And he is still around today. He is highly revered, not just as a religious leader, but just a force for good. And as you're going to see on your Ed Puzzle, an interview where someone tries to crack a joke and his laugh is just so infectious that people love being around that. So to the right are traditional Tibetan Buddhist monks in their dress wear, and you're going to see that in another video too. So they are known for making something called mandalas. It is for meditative purposes, looking at you, Reese, wake up, Aiden, off your phone, and also for training discipline at the same time too. Here's what one of these Tibetan Buddhist mandalas look like. So as you see in the time-lapse video, they're going to map it out all correctly using what are known as chalk lines and math compasses to make it as geometrically exact as possible. This can take a week, this can take a month, it can take a long time depending on how many monks and how intricate that it is. I've seen these in person made before and they're absolutely amazing because what they use is basically colored sand, and you can see that it almost is like 3D, how it raises up a bit. And if you don't have a steady hand, or if you sneeze, you're going to mess this thing up royally. So here's another one that is finished. And you can see that they all kind of come from one center point. It's meant to represent the center of the universe. And take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is represent the Eightfold Path. Here's them marking this out. If you've ever painted a house before, it's all about preparation before you actually paint. Coming up. Here we go.
Hey,
So
this is
after you do your Ed puzzles,
using in order to draw your Buddhist mandala. I tried to pick the website with the easiest kind of how-to instructions in order to make one of these, because if you ever look them up, they can get insanely complex. And also, we're not in the classroom together in order for me to show you the step-by-step directions. But I found this, and I think it's pretty easy for you. And I think you'll have a pretty good time doing this. So when you do this, you're going to want to scroll down. It's kind of like what you're going to be making. You can watch this video if you'd want to, if you end up actually going to the link and checking it out. But we're going to scroll past that, and you're going to want to go to right here. Literally step by step. You begin by drawing a circle. You're going to do this on your blank sheet of paper. Then get this, you're going to draw another circle and a couple more circles, and then just keep following these directions, and before you know it, you're going to end up having your very own Buddhist mandala. Just remember that when you are doing this, it is not about the destination, it is all about the journey, trying to do this as correctly and nicely as possible while maintaining focus as much as possible while doing this. Once you get it done, you're going to take a look down at the directions on Microsoft Teams, and you're going to want to choose 3 colors that best represent you in order to color your very own Buddhist mandala. And everybody should be having something like this by the time that you are done. Give it your honest to best effort, and let's see how you do with it. So just follow those directions, go to the website, and the website that's on Microsoft Teams for you, you'll go here, follow the step-by-step directions, and you will be good to go.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kaifosh. No problem, Mr. Kaifosh. I could do these corny jokes all day. But anyways, that is a website that you're going to end up going to make one of your own Buddhist mandalas. And just like I said in that video, as you can see, I didn't even know it was going to pop up, got caught off guard, but let's just roll with it. When you go there, it is not about the destination. It's a meditative journey. It's about having the right mind, the right focus, the right perspective to take your time to do it correctly as much as possible. When you're done, you're going to pick 3 of these colors. Cannot use white, no cheating, Rob. Cannot use white. And you're going to color this mandala in. And when you're all done, this is going to be due on Thursday. So you're going to have 2 whole days to do this. We're going to take it very easy. I'm going to be very open with any questions. And you're going to do this. And when you're done, you're going to take a picture of it and send it to me on Remind. So make sure that you have signed up on Remind. So moving on, when you go to Ed Puzzle, you're going to watch one of these videos, answer the questions for that. I'm going to answer questions for this one. Then go back to Microsoft Teams and look at the daily directions and find the link to this website. Spend 2 days to make that mandala very good. I'd recommend using pencil. There's going to be a lot of mistakes, but that's fine. We're learning. And then color it in and send me a picture of it. If you have any questions,